Your ass don't taste like nothing. It actually is healthy for my gums.
Ooh, child. Oh, Lord. Ooh, child.
Hello, and what is up? What's going on, you guys? Okay, so I'm getting in. I had some time to catch up with some things. I've been working on some other independent projects because all my focus and energy and time is not going to be committed to chasing individuals and sticking my nose in their business or whatever. Um, but I caught up with some things. So I heard someone mention a performance of Yusuf, and I actually mod for Yusuf. I haven't been over there in a minute though. I need to catch up. Also, I didn't know this performance was something that goes back to another person who I mod for, which was Carrie, which is Carrie. Still mod for Carrie. So I missed that. I didn't know that. So I caught up with all of this earlier today, which pretty much compelled me to do this live. But I didn't watch it in its entirety. Why, you guys? Because it was over 5 hours. I just didn't have the time or the patience. But I did watch 2 hours and 15 minutes. Okay, So I am able to comment on that much. Okay, so I'm giving a time limit. I do not know what occurred after the 2 hour and 15 minute mark, but I can speak on what it is that I saw. Okay, Lord have mercy. I didn't know all of that went on. I'm kind of actually glad that I wasn't present for it. You know what I mean? Because that was like a mess. And I am interested though, like in what happened after the 2 hour and 15 minute mark. But again, I didn't have the time and patience. Like this should be long, you guys. Hey, what is up, Rodney? How are you? Okay. You want to click my link? Okay. But I had caught up with that. And so I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to summarize this shit, you guys, and give it to you in a nutshell. Um, the character behind the bar. And I had did a live on him one time. And actually, it stems from something that happened where over at Curry's. I was over there doing my job minding my business. And just out because I was in the look, this is the best I can make of it. Because I was in the chat and because he was behind a microphone like on a panel, he decided to take a shot at me. And the shot he called me a flip flopper. He called me a flip flopper. He never gave an explanation. Of course, I inquired why. Like, how did he come to? Why did he come to say that? But when he said it, he said because I play both sides of something. I don't know if he used the the description, both sides of the fence, but however he put it, is equal to that. Okay, so it's equal to that, and he was and the two different fences that he was talking about was, I guess, me supporting Tracy and liking her, and me supporting Carrie and liking her too, and me knowing that I can manage both at the same time, and that is, and for me, and to understand that for me it was never either or. I actually know Carrie from modding over Tracy's, you know. Of course, she's like she was a mod like long before I was. You know what I mean? So yeah, like so yeah, like to me, it's not like a either or deal. It's a both and. It's both and to me. It's like okay, like yeah, like I can manage both of this shit. It's not that deep and not that hard for me. Anyway, so he had called me that then, but before then he had called me a female. And I believe this was on purpose. I believe that he definitely knew that I was a male at the time. He was like, "Oh, I don't even know the person behind the account, but yeah, you don't have to know me personally to know my sex and my gender." Like, and I've been modding over there before he came over there and clicked the link, so I'm not far, but I let that slide or whatever. I figured he was kind of taking a shot, but then later I caught up with them saying that I play both sides of the fence. So this is behind the bar, you guys. Let me look over to the chat. What is up? Living my best life. Thanks for dropping in. It's good to see you. So yeah, so that was that. I didn't make. I mean, I did speak up, you guys. That whole silent muzzle thing that people try to do, like I don't play into that, but I didn't make a big mess about it. Like even with the both sides of the fence, of course I spoke up. I was like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? What do you mean? And then here we go with this phone. Hold on, you guys. All right, here we go. I'm not even sure all of what I said, but I just know I didn't make the biggest mess of it. I try to be sensitive that if it's not in my home, meaning on my channel, that I should limit things. You know what I mean? Just to be on a good accord with the content creator. Uh, so I did, and I always thought that I don't know. I always thought that she had endearing feelings, I would say, towards him. But I don't know the relationship. You know, I kind of thought they were friendly or friends or whatever. But I just know he just be out of pocket a lot of times. The other day when I caught up with him live, he was out of pocket, and they were going back and forth, and words were exchanged. They were going back and forth for a minute, and a lot of his language was like bitch, 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 bitch. Like we, like I don't know. I felt like I was on a skip record. Like I know he intended to be disrespectful, and what he was saying, he wasn't by himself. I don't feel like he was by himself, but I just know that he used the term bitch, 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 bitch. I know that Yusuf may have been watching or whatever. He clicked the link. He got his time to go on the link, and but by that time, the behind the bar had dropped off. So I guess he was like in the clouds, you guys, in the bushes, whatever you guys call it, or in the chat. And so Yusuf got to speak. He was on the panel, and Yusuf got to speak his thing, and he was talking about disrespect. Of course, he filtered all of that through black people. That's kind of like if I'm out for Yusuf as well. But if you're used to Yusuf, you know, you kind of know what he speaks about, especially in terms of us disrespecting. And he was kind of like accosting them, you know, wagging a finger, shaking a finger, you know, that type of thing. At that point, behind the bar, did come up. So when he said what he said to me, I was like, Kerry dropped the. I'm talking about behind the bar when he had said that I play both sides. I said Kerry dropped the link. At that point, he dropped down talking about I don't want to argue, but I wasn't coming up there to argue. But I just wanted clarity too. And if he had the testicular fortitude to say that, like while I wasn't there, like don't budge when I click the link. Like let's not get pussy now. Let's not do that. But he got up there. He got to exchange words with Yusuf, and so this is what I'm here for, you guys. After that, I did listen to the live. After that, like I told you, I got all the way up to the 2 hour and 15 minute mark. However, all through that, I only heard people speaking pretty much about one thing or maybe a few things, but all of those things being in the same direction. So no one ever got to address this. So I would like to address this, and I would like to play some of the footage of what happened when Yusuf and when Behind the Bar got together, and the words that were exchanged. Because no one in the time that I watched it spoke to what he said regarding Yusuf, but it wasn't so much Yusuf, because the shit that he said towards Yusuf goes to a groove. And it was very vile. So I'm gonna listen to this shit. Let me look over to the chat. Let's see. Hey, what is up, Bat? How are you? Hope you're having a good day. Let's get it. And people were speaking about like the term bitch or whatever. I made my feelings known about that, and I honestly today, especially when we're talking about black people usage of that, almost like when people try to pull blinders over your eyes, and they try to convince you that the N word like has really nothing to do with, it's not related to race, and that it really means an ignorant person. But you know that your black ass can live and die and live an entire whole life and never hear anyone reference the term N-word to ignorant people. So yeah, similar or the same to me for the bitch word, in the way it's used. And to me, that's the only thing that matters. Context is the only thing that trumps everything. But in the way that it's used is not something that just applied to females. And I wish people stop trying to play in my ears with that nonsense. I hear, even in this sector, men being called bitch ass niggas all the time. Bitch that, bitch assness, whatever, or just bitch. It could just be bitch. Like, I don't know why people pretend like they don't hear that. And it's commonplace. And I'm not the one that's tripping. But let's get it. Actually, before I even call anyone a bitch on here, male or female, I was called a bitch by a female. They on Treacy's panel, and her name was Char X. And after that, I never seen her. But then some time later, it could have been over a year later. I went on only because someone told me to Google myself. So I Googled myself and I put LSA in it. So I'm thinking I'm going to read what LSA had to say about me because those weirdos have actually put me over there more than once. But like I can't even call myself a subscriber because I didn't even have a fucking account. So as a voice that would call and a voice that would click links because I didn't have a fucking account. Okay. Yeah. And when I go over there, I see that the one of the threads was made by the chick that called me bitches multiple times on Tracy platform by the name of Char X. It was the same name, Char X. And I was like, oh shit. I never seen her back in the sector again. So I guess she's from LSA. I guess. Y'all keep your eyes open. Let's get it, y'all. Let's hear this audio.
Your boy, you fucking trash. Are you done? No, I ain't got as much in me as you, Mr. 20-minute rant to a woman. Respond to that, I'm done for you. Okay.
Bitch ass.
Okay, cool. All right, so this homosexual comes up here and knows everything about my life. Exactly. I can't even talk. Exactly. I can't even talk. I let you get it off your chest. I let it get it off your chest. And I can't respond. I can't respond. That's why I don't hit the panel with you, because you're an emotional homosexual. And I can't respond. You're too much of a homosexual. I try to respond to you. You said a lot. You sit here caping for this bitch. You're caping for this bitch. You're caping for this bitch. You're caping for this bitch. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. You're a homosexual trying to tell me about how to raise black men. Your father failed you, bro. Your father failed you. Your father raised a faggot. Your father raised a faggot, and your father is ashamed of you. You hear what I'm saying? Your father raised a faggot, and your father is ashamed of you. You hear me? Your father will never come to your day at the wedding, and your father's ashamed of you. Your father raised a bitch. Your father raised a bitch. You hear me? You's a nigga that takes dick up the ass. You can't tell me nothing. A nigga that takes dick up the ass can't tell me nothing. You are ashamed to be a black man. You should be ashamed of yourself. A black man. You should be ashamed of yourself as a black man. You should be ashamed. You can't tell me nothing. Remind y'all, it's a 2 against 1. It's a 2 against 1. A faggot can't tell me nothing about how to raise my black king. You super faggot. You's a faggot. I don't fuck with you. You gay lord. You a gay lord. Homosexual faggot. And you can't tell me nothing. You fucking pillow biting ass faggot can't tell me nothing. You pillow biting ass faggot can't tell me nothing. And I don't talk to homosexuals. I don't talk to homosexuals. You hear me? I can't talk to homosexuals. So I'm gonna drop down because I don't talk to faggots after never, okay? You fucking faggot. You are a faggot, and your father is ashamed of you. Your father is ashamed of you, you homosexual nigga. You's a faggot, and you can't say nothing to me. I'm out, you fucking faggot. I'm out, you Captain Saber, whole ass faggot. Fuck you, you faggot.
Than you, even as a gay man, than for you as a black man with no pride and no backbone up until you're coming up against your own women and children. And you're worried about that. You're the one who's supposed to matter, Mr. Straight Guy, because the whole entire black race rides on you, loving your own fucking women and breeding right. But you're giving birth to the worst, low-down, dirty trash, just like the son you just damn near just shamed. So at the end of the day, I'd rather be a faggot than a conquered Negro buck in 2022. any motherfucking day. And my love will always be black and be appreciated and respected and deep. And if anything ever happens to our race and we're in a birth decline like the others, it will be all dicks on deck. You don't know nothing about that. I got more racial pride in my left thumb.
It was a lot going on. Lord, I don't even know where to begin. Okay. Oh Lord. So I put that on the screen. Now, you guys, I only listened to 2 hours and 15 minutes of like a 5 hour and 18-minute live. And I have to admit that I have no knowledge of what was said in the chat, but I just know in terms of the panel, the audio, the voices, that up until that point, a lot of people did come up and they spoke of him, of course. I think he's an attention seeker. But that whole thing, I don't speak to homosexuals, I've heard him say that before. I spent time over there. As a matter of fact, when he had took a shot at me, and I told Carrie to drop the link so I can come up and speak, since he personalized it to me. You said this to me, nobody else, and it was out of nowhere. It wasn't like we were talking about people who play both sides of the fence, and he saw me like it's suitable, okay, or a viable candidate. Like, no, like it was just like out of nowhere. And it's just like, yo, like this is what you've been thinking the whole time, and I guess you were just looking for a time to do this shit. Like, it's not gonna be sweet. So he hopped off the panel because he saw that I was coming up, and then later on, I think they asked him why. You know how they say, like, yo, like why did you run or whatever? And he was like, oh, I didn't run, saving face. He was like, I just wasn't going to do no screaming and yelling. But I don't know where he got that from, because that wasn't going to come from me. You know what I mean? I was just going to pretty much ask him, where did that come from? But he can't even qualify his position a lot of time. Dude is a whole weirdo. I saw someone in this chat say, oh, how you doing, Elblue? And how you doing, Alana? I'm looking down. Oh, what's up, Michelle's daughter? Hope I didn't miss anybody else. Let's see. Yeah. I heard somebody say, oh, I thought that he was homosexual. Exactly. Like, that's not the first time I heard that. And not only that, like one of the last times I was over there, like he was going back and forth with some woman, and at some point he said, I don't understand why you think that I was throwing shade away. And I think I remember who the woman is, but it's kind of faint, so I don't want to put out a name and be incorrect, if you guys know how sensitive people are. But she was like, why are you using like gay vernacular? But to me, like, that was all part of her going back and forth. And the reason I say that, like, in his defense, although, let me put this in. He tried to deny and he tried to gaslight a bit. So I spoke up, and I'm like, that did originate, like, the whole phrase of throwing shade. And that's how he put it. That did originate from black homosexuals and black trans. Like, but it's so mainstream today, you can hear anyone use it. Like, you don't have to be in those communities in order to say that today. Everyone says that. That's one of them things that have gotten so mainstream. Same thing with T. And I'm not just saying the term T, because someone's gonna come out with that. Black women been saying that. I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about what's the T, phrases like that. Like to say what's going on, or to greet someone. What's T, and shit like that. Like, yeah, that originated from homosexual communities. But yeah, so he borrows from these communities that he has so much disdain from. And yes, he did say homosexual as if it was a pejorative, because in his mind it is a pejorative. And it was the same as what he eventually came to say. So no, Like there's some people that's their mind is so poisoned they don't see a distinction between a nigga and a black man. They don't think it's a distinction. They think it's the same fucking thing. When he was saying homosexual, trust me, just like just like yeah, but when he was saying homosexual, in his mind he was saying the F bomb. That's what he was saying. Just by saying homosexual, trust me. And people don't have to. I'm sure you guys have been called the N word and you heard the N word, even though the N word was not said. They could have been saying sir or ma'am. It could have been someone in the resale store fucking with you or some shit. But you heard, like, in that sir and in that ma'am, you heard nigga. Okay, so yeah, like, but yeah, in his mind, it is a pejorative. And he was like, I know your he was like your dad or your parents raised the F bomb, you know. Okay. And he was, yeah, he was, but in the beginning, he was saying it like it was an insult. Like, it's like, oh, you homosexual, okay, and you're heterosexual. Like, what is your point? But this is this man trained of thinking, and yes, he does think that he is more important and that his life comes with more value than those people of the homosexual community. Of course, he does, but a lot of other people do too. Because the reason I even lifted the video is to show that how this was the most vile thing said, and no one spoke up for that homosexual named Yusuf when he came to, in his mind, to the aid of a black woman, and he was called slurs and all this like race. I'm sorry, all this hate speech was hurled his way. He even said, you should be ashamed to be a black man. Why? Why should he now be, okay, because of his orientation and his sexuality, why should he be ashamed to be black in that? Like this is the shit I need to know and understand. But and people sat under that and heard that. Do you think anyone came to Yusuf's aid, seeing that he was coming towards a black woman's aid, even though he don't have a attraction to black women? This is why I fall back, because the times that I attempted to do that, I see what occurs. You know, and even though he said it, I believe there was other people in the audience believing the exact same thing that he did. I don't care whether they had the balls to say it. He was angry. And I like these moments when this shit comes out. And it's like, finally, because you didn't even have to hold back. You could have said it all the time, the whole time. You could have said it. You didn't have to wait till Mad Day. You didn't have to wait till Mad Day. You could have put that out there. Like, it's the fake and the phoniness shit to me. And how people like, and it became this whole thing like of women this, like, even when the term like male identifying. And I hate the way people misuse that in this sector. Like, they may want to look up what that means, you know. Yeah, because clearly Carrie accosted him and spoke against him. He wasn't the only one that she spoke against. She had this both things where she was checking both sides and saying, hey, I seen wrongdoing on both parts, but behind the bar, let me get at you for a second. You know, so how do you have disagreement and thought and calling someone male identified? You know, and I just think that it's some unrealistic goals that people put out to content creators. Yes, we do bear some responsibility in what is said on our platform, some, but how much? Well, you don't know what's going to be said. But how much when I tell both of y'all before shit pops off, stop. I'm going to need y'all not to yell. I'm going to need y'all just to speak and talk. When you do that, and it's ignored by both parties. You know, so I just want to, that's my question. Like, how much you know, because if like I'm a homosexual, and what I'm saying is, it's not me allowing it, but like someone who clicks my link, like could clearly call me that. Like the offense have to be made first. My thinking. Like, please tell me if I'm wrong. Like we can't put people. We can't try people and charge people on or what you're about to do or what I know you're thinking or what I know you're about to say. Like it has to be said. It has to be put out first. You get what I'm saying? Before we can check people. You know, and some people are so afraid of the things like coming out because it's just like, yeah, but like it had to come out, like, you know what I mean, like for the corrective efforts to come, because everyone has a solution. That's when everyone pulls in. Well, you should have did this. You should have did. It's almost like saying you should have known what his next move was going to be. I think that's so unfair. That's just me because you know. You know, like a homosexual could come towards me and be like, "Oh, you're allowed," and I'm like, "Yeah, but that affects me too." Like they said it towards me, but I have to allow them to say it in my mind, you know, because there's a lot of fake bitches out there. Like it has to be said. Like it has, you know, like if it's in you, let it come out. Is my thought, you know. Take the guesswork away, you know, like where people's not speculating over what they feel you are, because a lot of times we get that wrong, you know. But yeah, that was it. I don't think I have to play it again. It was foul enough. It was very contemptible. Had so much hate, but I didn't hear. I didn't see anyone come click that link in the hours that I watched and speak to that and how disgusting that was. That was disgusting. It was so hateful, and no one had. And he called himself coming to the aid of a black woman. That's why, I don't apply that shit across the board anymore, especially in this space. I've been here for a while. I already know. You could very much be coming to the aid of someone who already has that as a permanent fixture in their vocabulary. And I'm dead ass with that. You know, so what is the difference between a behind the bar and and some other individual? That's what I want to know. You know, because I see it out there, and like they didn't it. People didn't even feel it was worth speaking about in the hours that I watched. That was some disgusting shit. You know? But I had my speculations. Like I can sense that I can see through a lot of people. People don't give me credit, but I can see. But again, you can't like really be accusatory without the word. You know, you got to point to the word, the statements. You know what was said, what was done, the actions. Let me read this. Hey, how are you, Pink Booty? Let's see. My name kept coming up. Oh, did it? I didn't hear that. Okay. So Christopher writes, for the record, my name kept coming up in that live stream, and I believe she may have had me confused with another white guy from overseas. Oh, is the other white guy you said from overseas? Is he from Australia? Let me know. Cause she said it was a dude with a white beard. I can't grow facial hair. Why you can't grow facial hair? I don't have very material in my body at all, so that wasn't me. I don't have very material. I don't know what the hell you meant. Maybe you meant that very. I don't know. But okay, Chris, Rodney, we have more problems out of black men than anyone else, just because we are homosexuals. Shaking my head. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not even sure. Like I'm not denying it, Rodney. But I just don't know if it's just the black man thing. I think it probably poses the most threat to homosexuals when it's coming from a man, if that makes sense. I see it as a black community thing, and the issues that they have with homosexuals, you know. And I did outreach work for teens that were thrown homeless to the fucking streets because of their attraction to the same sex. So I've seen this in ways that other people who try to chime in, who have 2 cents, they believe how it can never like even shape or move the needle on what it is that I've seen. I've seen it up close and personal. You know what I mean? So yeah, like people disowning their seeds, you know, and that's why I question a lot of people on the blackness shit. Like he brought up race in that whole rant that I played on the video. He brought up race and said you should be ashamed to be a black man. As if homosexuals who are black men should be ashamed. You know what I mean? So he attached that to race. And often people do. Or should I say often y'all do. You know, so, and that's why I question the people that say black first. Do you mean that? Because you know that includes black lesbians. You do know that. You do know the black community produces black lesbians. You know that includes black homosexuals. You do know that. I hope you know that the black community produces homosexuals, meaning they have homosexual children who eventually become homosexual. You do know that includes black trans people. You do know that. So you're not black first. You mean you're black hetero first. Like, add that in. That's important. That's important. Because you're not black first. At all. You know, you cut out the things that you don't want to deal with. That's very much part of the black community. You don't want to accept the black community in its entirety. That's your problem. So I already know what it is. A lot of these people are not black first at all. When you think that, yeah, like you get to decide what to keep and what to trash and throw away that you don't value in terms of lives and people's existence in the black community. Like y'all push your mentally ill family members and loved ones in back rooms rather than getting them to resources and getting them the help that they need. You know, when it comes to trans and black male homosexuals, y'all push them out and keep your lesbian daughters in the house. That's what the numbers say. Argue with the numbers. That's it. But it was this whole thing on bitch and how like it necessarily meant this thing towards women. No, he would call if he'll call a homosexual an F-bomb, he'll call a homosexual a bitch. Do you question that? I think it's ridiculous to question that. You know, and it the way black people used to be word, and sure, women get it a lot and unnecessarily. It don't have to be anger. There's people that's associating females with bitches, but what I'm saying is, it's not a gender specific term in the way people use it. Especially largely among black people. They're not waiting for them to come into a female to hurl the term bitch. What I'm telling you is males get it all the time. It's a sign of disrespect. You know, and it's a big way to disrespect a man, to call him a bitch. And you can throw adjectives and other words around it like bitch ass nigga and all that. Like that's still the same thing. Like, a grown ass man is being called a bitch. and it's common. Like we're not gonna pretend like it's uncommon, you know. So that's it. Yeah, like, and I just, yeah, that's it. That's it. I think that's all I should say. Thank you guys so much for dropping in with me too, and keeping me company and staying engaged. Let me go and read the last one. Yes, in general, we have a problem from the black race. Yeah, like yeah, and he didn't mind it, but I'm just glad it came out. I'm just glad it came out, and people had picks. Like some people would cuss him out, and they would give you the greatest speech, like a real good feel good speech. But then like later on when you're logging and shit and looking, you'll see that they're avid viewer and follower and subscriber of ZX or some shit like that. So just keep your eyes open. That's why I'm not even saying much but that. It's just like how you figure. Like how did you check behind the bar like that when your whole fucking subscriber GX and that's ZX and that's when you hear you can't tell a person where to go and what to do exactly. So why are we shaking fingers at behind the bar? So it's those things that you guys got to reconcile, those discrepancies, like where it doesn't make sense. When you get to say, oh, we can't tell nobody what to do, but do you want to shake a hand at? But that was some hateful shit. That's it. That's all. Please like the video. If you aren't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Find some music and be out of here. But he meant that shit, okay? So I pick and choose. Like, nah, I'm not gonna be like putting myself out there. Like these people, you know what I mean? Like defending this one, that. Well, sure, like there are women that I defend, but don't get the game fucked up. I'm not defending them because they're women. Like I'm defending them because of who they are and what they are to me. That makes sense to me. You know what I mean? Like they could be a whole fucking ally, and I know that they'll do that for me, and that could be the reason. In someone else's mind, they think I'm coming to their defense because they have a vagina. Hell no. I'm not coming to nobody's defense because of their parts, whether you have a penis or a vagina. Like it really is on what you mean to me, what you are to me. So, yeah. Because as you see, they don't even speak up for homosexuals because a lot of them believe what he said. Okay, and that's the gag. That's the gag. So I ain't getting all these battle wounds. Wait a minute, hold on. No one found the need to even call that out. I'm sorry there was a discrepancy, Christopher. I'm sure Carrie's a very understanding person. I'm sure if you told her, she would understand. But you didn't answer my question. I wanted to know if it was the guy from Australia. But I'm out of here. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, I'm tripping. Maybe he did answer. I didn't read the whole chat. I don't have very much hair in my body at all. Okay, no, he only cleared that up. So he didn't answer. Okay, no doubt. All right. Come on. All right, let me just go out this way. I'm gonna just go the outro. Now this is gonna come on. Come on, stop playing with me. I have a crazy delay. Let me just get the fuck out of here. Thank you guys so much. Growing, and I'm on the road to 800 subscribers. See y'all on the other side. Please subscribe. And thanks.